Welcome to the Book Club podcast. You're listening to the audiobook edition of Becoming Her, How to Stand Out in a World Full of Beautiful Women.
by Kamiko Chamo.
If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future chapters or upcoming book releases. This book is also available on Amazon in both paperback and Kindle formats if you'd like your own copy to read along or take notes. Now, let's begin today's chapter. Chapter 20. Becoming Her, living as the woman they can't forget. Integrating everything you've learned. Transformation doesn't happen in a single moment. It unfolds through intention, awareness, and repetition. Becoming Her isn't about reinventing yourself into someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Every lesson, every boundary, every quiet revelation has been leading you here, to the version of yourself that no longer performs, chases, or doubts, but simply is. Integration is where knowledge becomes embodiment. You've learned to command your energy, refine your presence, and guard your peace. Now it's time to live it without effort. It's one thing to understand femininity intellectually. It's another to walk in it daily. The woman you are becoming doesn't have to try. Her grace is muscle memory. To integrate this transformation, start with awareness. Begin each day asking, how can I move like her today? Not with pressure, but with intention. Maybe it's through how you enter a room, slower, softer, more deliberate. Maybe it's through the way you speak, calm, measured, with warmth. Or maybe it's in how you handle emotion, feeling deeply without reacting impulsively. Every small act of alignment is a step closer to her. Masculine energy feels this embodiment instantly. A woman who has fully integrated her power radiates peace. She doesn't announce her worth, she emanates it. Men sense her presence before they see her. Women sense her confidence before she speaks. She becomes unforgettable not through performance, but through her energy, grounded, gracious, and unapologetically whole. Spiritually, integration is feminine mastery. It's living from your inner sanctuary rather than external validation. You no longer oscillate between extremes, between soft and strong, love and logic, give and receive, because you've learned that the divine feminine is not either/or. It's both. It's flow and focus, grace and power, stillness and movement, all coexisting harmoniously within you. Integration is also forgiveness. Forgiveness for the versions of you who didn't know better, who overgave, who settled, who silenced herself for love. You release her with compassion, knowing she was necessary for your evolution. Every heartbreak, every boundary crossed, every moment of insecurity taught you how to rise. That's not weakness. That's wisdom in motion. And love. Here's your truth. You've already become her. Every moment you choose peace over panic, silence over validation, boundaries over chaos, you are living as the woman you are meant to be. Becoming her is not a final destination. It's a lifelong rhythm. The art of returning to yourself over and over again until authenticity feels like home. Now walk like her. Speak like her, rest like her, because you are her, and the world will never forget the woman who remembered herself. Living from intention, not reaction. Becoming her means no longer living on emotional autopilot. It's living with purpose, not impulse, responding with wisdom instead of reacting from wounds. Reaction is survival energy. Intention is divine energy. One drains you, the other refines you. The woman who lives from intention has learned that calm isn't passive, it's power under control. When you live from reaction, you're ruled by circumstance. Someone says something unkind, and your peace shatters. A man pulls away and you spiral. A friend disappoints you, and you question your worth. This constant emotional reactivity keeps you in bondage to the external world. You become a puppet of energy, pulled, pushed, and provoked at every turn. But when you shift into intention, everything changes. You begin your days grounded, centered, aware of who you are and what energy you want to bring into the world. You decide not them. You choose peace when chaos calls. You choose silence when provoked. You choose dignity when ego demands attention. The intentional woman doesn't respond from emotion. She responds from alignment. She no longer needs to win arguments or prove points. Her power lies in the pause, that divine moment between stimulus and response where her discernment lives. In that breath, she reclaims her peace, her presence, her power. Masculine energy reveres this kind of woman. A man may find fiery passion exciting, but it's a woman's emotional discipline that earns his deepest respect. She doesn't crumble when disappointed or lash out when triggered. Her stillness unsettles immaturity because it mirrors truth. She is not performing. She is choosing. Spiritually, living with intention connects you to divine flow. It reminds you that everything you attract reflects your vibration. When you choose peace, you magnetize peace. When you choose chaos, you invite more chaos. Every decision becomes sacred. Every word, every boundary, every yes and no is a form of prayer. To embody this fully, start every morning by setting the tone of your energy. Today, I choose grace over reaction, purpose over panic, peace over performance. Repeat it until it becomes your baseline. When challenges arise, breathe before you move. Ask, what response honors my higher self? Then act from that place, even if it means walking away entirely. And remember this truth: reaction is instinct, intention is evolution. The woman who masters this shift becomes unforgettable, because the world will always test her energy, but she will no longer be moved by it. She is the calm. She is the standard. She is the embodiment of conscious feminine power, the daily practices of her. Becoming her isn't a single transformation, it's a lifestyle. It's in the small, sacred choices that you make every day, the habits that sculpt your energy, shape your mindset, and strengthen your confidence. You don't wake up as her by chance. You become her through consistency, intention, and self-devotion. The daily practices of her are not grand gestures. They're quiet rituals. She starts her mornings intentionally. Before touching her phone, she touches her peace. Maybe through prayer, journaling, stretching, or simply breathing, she centers her energy before the world tries to pull it away. She understands that how she starts her day determines how it unfolds. Her mornings are not rushed. They're rhythmic. Throughout the day, she chooses presence over performance. She's not chasing validation, likes, or reactions. When she speaks, her tone is calm and warm. When she listens, she's fully engaged. She doesn't compete or compare. Her eyes are on her path. Every interaction reflects her self-awareness. Her posture, her speech, her silence, all are deliberate, infused with dignity. Her space mirrors her energy. Her home isn't cluttered because her mind isn't. She curates her environment with beauty and order, soft lighting, clean spaces, intentional details. Not for vanity, but for vibration. She understands that her surroundings affect her spirit, so she keeps them peaceful. Masculine energy senses this difference immediately. The woman who moves with routine, rhythm, and intention radiates reliability and power. Her consistency is alluring. It feels safe, steady, grounding. She doesn't need to announce her growth. Her habits reveal it. Spiritually, the daily practices of her are acts of worship. She honors her body with movement, her mind with learning, her emotions with stillness, and her spirit with gratitude. She doesn't rush her evolution. She nurtures it like tending a garden. She understands that femininity isn't about perfection. It's about presence. Some of her daily rituals might include speaking affirmations into her reflection instead of criticism, drinking water like it's holy because her body is, saying no without apology, yes without hesitation, and goodbye without resentment. Spending time alone, not in loneliness, but in recalibration. Dressing beautifully even when no one's watching because she's the audience that matters. And when you embody these practices long enough, they stop being routines and become your rhythm. You no longer have to try to be her, you simply are. The woman who lives intentionally glows differently. Her energy feels expensive because it's protected. Her presence feels sacred because it's aligned. Every action becomes an affirmation that she is her own muse, her own masterpiece, and her own standard. She doesn't chase the life she wants, she lives it, one intentional breath at a time. Redefining success and beauty. In the world's eyes, success and beauty are often measured by numbers, followers, wealth, youth, or the attention you can command. But the woman who has become her redefines both on her own terms. To her, success is peace, and beauty is presence. She no longer chases society's version of achievement or perfection. She cultivates her own. Success for this woman isn't about having everything. It's about being aligned with everything she has. It's about waking up each morning with clarity, direction, and grace. It's not about the size of her audience, but the strength of her spirit. She measures success by her ability to stay calm under pressure, kind in chaos, and consistent in purpose. She's no longer trying to arrive somewhere, she's living fully here. Beauty, too, transforms as she does. It's no longer a competition or a performance. Her beauty isn't rooted in youth, perfection, or trends. It's anchored in vitality, the glow of a woman who has forgiven herself, honored her body, and walked through the fire without losing her softness. She doesn't need filters. Her energy is the filter. It's how she speaks, moves, and looks at the world. Her inner light gives meaning to her outer form. Masculine energy feels this shift immediately. A woman who defines success and beauty for herself is magnetic. She's not desperate for validation or afraid of aging. Her confidence is timeless. She becomes the standard, the reference point by which others measure authenticity. Spiritually, success and beauty are frequencies, not possessions. You attract them by embodying gratitude, purpose, and grace. The more you align with your true essence, the more beautiful you become. Not because you change your features, but because you vibrate differently. Beauty becomes energy in motion, the divine expressed through your humanity. To live this way, release the illusion that success is somewhere out there. It's not in applause, possessions, or perfection, it's in peace. It's the quiet knowing that you're living truthfully, loving intentionally, and honoring your spirit daily. And understand this, your beauty was never meant to fit in. It was meant to remind the world what real looks like. When you carry yourself with purpose and peace, when your smile is born from joy, when your silence is full of wisdom, that's success. That's beauty. That's her. Love as overflow, not validation. When a woman evolves into her highest form, she no longer loves from emptiness. She loves from overflow. She no longer reaches for affection as proof of her worth. She shares it as an extension of her abundance. This shift changes everything: her relationships, her peace, and her power. Because love, in its truest form, isn't meant to complete you. It's meant to extend you. For too long, many women have been conditioned to equate love with validation. The attention, the praise, the affection, it all felt like oxygen. But that kind of love always comes with strings, conditions, and disappointment. It makes you a seeker, not a creator. When your love depends on how others treat you, you live in emotional debt, constantly waiting for someone else to pay you what you already possess. But when love becomes overflow, it's no longer about receiving. It's about sharing. You give because you are full, not because you are starving. You attract love not to fill a void, but to reflect your wholeness. You stop asking, "Do they love me?" and start asking, "Am I honoring love through how I live, speak, and give?" Masculine energy is magnetized to women who love this way, not with desperation, but with depth. When a woman is full from within, she doesn't chase connection, she inspires it. She becomes the peace a man seeks after chaos, the warmth he returns to after the world hardens him. Her love isn't reactive, it's restorative. She doesn't lose herself in loving, she expands through it. Spiritually, love as overflow is divine expression. It's the purest evidence of alignment. When you love yourself deeply, when you treat your mind gently, your body tenderly, and your soul reverently, love flows through you naturally. You become a vessel of grace, and every relationship you touch becomes an echo of that vibration. To live this way, prioritize self-nourishment. Fill your emotional cup daily through stillness, creativity, laughter, and gratitude. You are not selfish for doing so, you are sustainable. You no longer love from depletion, but from divine abundance. And love, remember, validation fades, but fulfillment endures. The woman who needs validation asks to be seen. The woman who loves from overflow cannot be unseen. She is felt in every room, remembered in every silence, and missed in every absence. Because her love doesn't take, it gives. It doesn't prove, it radiates. And that, my love, is the kind of love that outlives admiration. It becomes legacy. The power of becoming versus being chosen. There's a pivotal moment in every woman's journey when she stops waiting to be chosen and decides to become. Until that moment, she lives in subtle dependence. Her worth fluctuates with others' validation. Her joy depends on attention. Her confidence rises and falls with approval. But once she shifts from seeking to being, she steps into sovereignty. She becomes the woman who doesn't need the spotlight because she is the light. Being chosen is temporary. Becoming is eternal. When you live to be chosen by a man, a job, a group, or even society, you live reactively. You shapeshift to fit expectations, performing for love rather than embodying it. You begin to measure your value through someone else's gaze, forgetting that your essence was never up for negotiation. But becoming, becoming is different. Becoming is active creation. It's building yourself through intention, discipline, and grace. It's learning your rhythms, honoring your emotions, and choosing alignment over attention. The woman who is becoming no longer asks, "Am I enough?" She knows she is, and therefore attracts everything aligned with that truth. Masculine energy feels this difference instantly. A man can sense when a woman is waiting versus when she is walking. The woman who waits to be chosen emits subtle anxiety. Her energy reaches outward. The woman who has become emits stability. Her energy draws inward, like gravity. She doesn't audition for love. She magnetizes it. She's not asking to be seen. She's too busy seeing herself. Spiritually, becoming is divine embodiment. It's aligning with your higher self and remembering that you are both the vessel and the source. You were never meant to chase love. You were meant to embody it. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth, your entire vibration changes. You attract opportunities, people, and love that match your frequency instead of testing it. Becoming is a process of daily rebirth. You outgrow habits that drain you. You release versions of yourself that begged for attention. You stop explaining your value to those committed to misunderstanding it. You begin to move differently, slower, softer, wiser. You start saying no without guilt, yes without hesitation, and goodbye without regret. And love, when you live in your becoming, you realize that being chosen was never the prize, being aligned is. The woman who becomes doesn't fear losing anyone because she's already found herself. She walks through life as an answered prayer, graceful, grounded, and glowing from within. She doesn't demand devotion, she inspires it. Becoming is your legacy. It's the quiet revolution of returning home to yourself, fully, freely, and fearlessly. Because when you become her, you stop seeking the world's approval and start embodying your divine truth. You were never waiting to be chosen. You were waiting to remember that you already are. Leaving a legacy of light. Every woman leaves an imprint, but not every woman leaves light. To live as her, the woman who is unforgettable in presence, purpose, and peace, is to understand that your legacy isn't measured by what you accumulate, but by what you illuminate. You are not here just to exist. You are here to inspire, to soften, to awaken. The woman who walks in grace leaves behind ripples that last long after her footsteps fade. Your legacy begins in the quiet moments no one sees. It's how you treat people who can't offer you anything in return. It's how you speak when you're angry, how you love when you're tired, and how you rise after being hurt. These are the brushstrokes that paint your spiritual signature on the world. The woman who embodies light doesn't need monuments or medals. Her energy becomes the memory. To leave a legacy of light, start with intention. Ask yourself daily, what energy am I leaving behind in this space, this relationship, this moment? Your energy is your reputation before your words ever arrive. A kind word, a calm presence, a compassionate gesture. These seem small, but they echo deeply. People may forget your name, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Masculine energy remembers a woman who brought peace to his chaos, who believed in him without losing herself, who inspired him not through demand, but through example. Feminine energy, in turn, remembers the woman who led with kindness, who uplifted others without dimming her own brilliance, who turned envy into empowerment. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what you leave within those you've touched. Spiritually, a legacy of light transcends time. It's energy that moves beyond flesh, status, or success. When you live aligned with your purpose, when you honor your truth and radiate authenticity, your life becomes a form of prayer. You become a vessel of divine remembrance, a reminder that softness is strength, that love heals, and that grace transforms everything it touches. The woman who has become her no longer fears being forgotten. She knows her essence cannot be erased because she's imprinted it in the lives she's elevated, the hearts she's healed, and the peace she's carried. She understands that her power was never in what she owned or achieved, but in who she was: calm, kind, wise, and magnetic. So, love, walk as light. Speak as light. Give as light. Let your legacy not be the noise of your success, but the warmth of your soul. Because when a woman lives this way, she doesn't fade when she leaves the room. Her energy remains like sunlight after dawn. And the world, forever changed by her glow, will whisper softly, "She was light." Thank you for listening to this chapter of Becoming Her. If you haven't subscribed to the Book Club podcast yet, go ahead and do that so you can stay updated on every new release. You can also find this book on Amazon in paperback and Kindle formats if you'd like a physical or digital copy. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with someone who might benefit from it as well. See you in the next chapter.